All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. It's a good game tonight. We dealt with a lot of adversity tonight, which is good for us. It's good learning experience. I had a feeling going into this game that hits were going to come at a premium, and we needed to be patient in order to find our way through. Typically in this league, Monday starters or the first starter of the week is typically a uh, pretty strong outing, and so that's what we saw tonight. We we had a little frustration here and there with some of the way that the game was being called, but those are things that we can work on. And I tried to talk with, excuse me, I tried to talk with the umpires afterwards to see how can we better prepare our players for that, because we ended up tonight with five looking strikeouts. And really, I think three of those were pretty questionable, if not outright that they shouldn't have happened. Um, but those are things that we have to get used to. We also are in a position where our pitchers do a really, really good job. There's not a lot of arc on the ball. Our pitchers are throwing pretty hard. And so, that's uh, I'm trying to work with the umpires to make sure that we are getting the pitchers are getting the help or getting the reinforcement that they need. Um, and so, there's some issues there, but I think we played really well tonight. We dealt with adversity. I would give us we won 2-1. I would give us an extra. I would give us a star for perseverance tonight, because it was a hard game. It was a hard one, the way that it was going. But when we start off and the first batter, third pitch of the game hits a comebacker to the pitcher stops it. We make a put out at first. That's the first put out we've had in the field. And it was great. It was great. It was such a great way to start the game. If we don't start the game that way, things kind of turn out very, very differently. And it was really, really good to make that first put out. Kind of gave us the confidence we needed, gave the fielders the confidence that we needed. We end that inning with two strikeouts pretty quick order. I think we threw maybe 15, 16 pitches that inning. Um, Overall, our pitcher, we went one pitcher tonight. Playing three games this week, that's really important that we're able to go one pitcher each game. We're not having to bring in more pitchers. We are fortunate that we have the depth to be able to do that. We have four or five kids who can throw on a ready notice, and we have some more that we're trying to develop. So that's really, really good for us to be put in a situation like this. Our pitcher threw 87 pitches. Really, uh, because of the calls, he probably should have been throwing 70, 75 pitches. I think there were a lot of questionable calls, especially later in the game that kind of concerns me a little bit. Got his pitch count higher than I would like it. I usually want that pitch count 70 to 75. And then that last inning kind of became its own monster with the way that it was being called and the way that we were reacting and things. But ended up with 10 strikeouts, five walks. I think a few of those walks were probably shouldn't have been walks. They should have been strikeouts. But we had the assist at first. We had a throw out at third. So this is the second time in this season that somebody has tried to run on us, and we've thrown them out. This time somebody had a late reaction. We threw down to third. There was a lot of confusion. We end up running after the batter to tag him. I'm not sure if we actually got the tag on him or if they went out of the baseline. But that's a good play. It's a good play on our catcher and our third baseman to be able to do that. We had a good throw down to second base as well. Good coverage by the second base and shortstop. Hitting wise, I thought we were really patient at the plate. They threw 89 pitches tonight. So it's kind of interesting that it was a two pitch differential. We're still in that positive. That's where we want to be. But um, we did a really good job being patient at the plate. We only had one hit on the night, but what we were able to do is be patient. We got some timely walks, and then we got a really, really good. We were able to drive in a run with a hit back to the pitcher. That was the go ahead run. That was the second run we got. that ended up being the winning run for us. So we ended up with 9 strikeouts, 7 walks. We always want that. We always want fewer walks. I'm sorry, we always want fewer strikeouts than we have walks. I think we were in a situation tonight where, like I said, a few of those strikeouts, I think should have been walks. But that's again what we have to play with and what we're going with. We played a full 4 innings in the field, and we really batted 3 innings and 2 batters. So we had 1 hit by pitch. I calculated 11 quality at bats. That's our best this season. 11 quality at bats, 6 stolen bases. So we are doing a good job getting on base. We're doing a good job once we get on base. Overall, for our first 3 games, this regular season game, also the 2 preseason games, our batting average as a team is 151. But that's to be expected early in the season, especially the way that we are trying to teach, especially our younger players, to be patient. And we're not saying go up and just look for a walk every time, but be patient and get your pitch. And little by little, people will see that we kind of go away from that. But by that point, we want to make sure that players are aware of what makes a good at bat, not swinging at every pitch that comes in. I know there are some other teams in the league that's maybe the way that they go, and people say it's fun to watch when people are hitting all the time, but um, we're trying to teach people the proper way to bat and the proper way to um, have an at bat. And so I think we're impressed with that. Our on base percentage is 541. So we're getting on base about 54% of the time. Which is pretty good, and that will be higher as well. I think once we start making some good contact with the ball, and once we start working some more walks. Another really interesting thing, if we compare that to what our what our opponents are doing. Our opponents average is 0.081. I mean, so that means they are not reaching base. They're reaching base less than 10% of the time off of a walk. We've given up 3 hits. I'm sorry, hits. We've given up 3 hits this season. Their on base percentage is 261. So 26% of the time, we are putting somebody on base either by walk, by error, or by hit batsman. Okay, that's really really good. 26% of the time is all that it's taking, or all that we are giving up, which is really really good for us. I'm pleased with where we are so far. We have a lot of work. We have a lot of teaching to do, and that's the fun part. We will get to where we are putting the bat on the ball more consistently. We had a couple foul balls tonight. We had some put into play. Um, and I like that. I like that. We will continue to get better at that. We will continue to move forward. We have a game Wednesday and then also Thursday. So this is a 3-week game, and if everything goes as planned, we'll play all 3 this week. If everything goes as planned next week, we also have another 3-week game. So, or 3-game week. So I'm excited to see what we're going to do. I'm excited to see how we can perform. One thing that we have to continue working on is we cannot rely solely on our pitchers. We have to be able to make plays when they put the ball in play. And tonight we showed that we can do that, which is good. I'm looking forward to getting some more work in that way, and getting our at bats, and getting the kids where they want to be. So I'm excited to move forward, and we have time for one question if anybody has one. Yeah, yeah. The question: what was my conversation with the umpire in the fourth inning, and then after the game? I in the fourth inning, uh, I was asking, how is the where are the pitches missing? because our pitcher was really, really, I mean, they were really on tonight. And as I said, I think we probably should have thrown 10 to 15 pitches fewer than we ended up throwing. And so I wanted to make a point that, I wanted to show our kids and show our pitcher that I understand. I'm out there trying to to protect them, to help them out. And the umpire was really nice. We had a good conversation, especially after the game, about where we're looking, and there's some things that I think we can do also as batters, that will help us. Maybe not get some of those high strikes that we had called tonight. I think maybe we'll be able to move forward and do some good things with that, and have some learning opportunities. But it's also a learning opportunity, or it's something that we have to adapt to during the season and in games. One, we have to know who we're playing. We have to know what some strengths are of the team that we're playing. What are our strengths? What are things that we want to watch out for? But also you need to know who is calling the game, because there is some, I mean, it's human variability, and there's going to be some variability everywhere. And so that's something that's also a really good lesson, for us to take for especially our pitchers and everybody when they're up to bat. So I'm looking forward to it. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks, everybody.